Reminder that this Crusader Kings 3 time-lapse is a no Mongols with a very hard AI. From the start here, it looks like HRE is already formed by Francia, so Carling's probably going to have Carling dominance all the way to the end, as usual. Byzantines are doing a good job of expanding. They're already into North Africa and parts of the Balkans, and they split. Of course. Alba somehow grabbed Andalusia in the midst of getting kicked out of their own lands. Love to see it. We're about 200 years later, and it looks like there's only three main powers, the Byzantines, the HRE, and the Abbasids, or Arabian, as well as Mali in the bottom left corner. They're kind of just vibing. I don't think they're going to be very much of a threat other than holding their power base. If I was the Byzantines, I would try to befriend the HRE as much as possible. They'll probably be in control of that. Yep, just hold the Balkans. And it looks like the Byzantines did get Fourth Crusade, and now it's a mad scramble to see who can take all of the lands that they got. Looks like North Africa has all been snapped up. Let's see, the Caucasus will be taken, as well as the Greek territory. HRE versus the Abbasids, which I think, for my money, I would say the HRE is in a better position just because they have much more of the better developed land. The land in the steppe is pretty much useless when it comes to taxes and stuff like that. Oh, Slavia is formed. And a splitting, a sundering in the empire? Abbasids, can you capitalize on a split HRE? Seemingly the answer is not really. Slavia is making gains and HRE is back. 711 years in the future, and pretty much the map is run by two nations. We've got the Arabian Empire in the east, and we've got the Holy Roman Empire in the west. I'm really surprised that they haven't gone ahead and formed Rome. I think it's because they are missing literally one requirement. So if we look and see, they pretty much have done it since the beginning of time. Yeah. Carling has been in charge of the HRE dynastic ones. Do they have they don't have the Persian ones. Those are the only ones it seems like they're missing, but they have all the other ones, I think. Yeah. Well, I guess the nomadic ones too. They don't have those ones either, but they are running that. And in the east, we have the Abbasids, I would assume, better together, but it looks like the HRE is about to come down with a hammer on them, which is crazy. This border is pretty wild as well, seeing as they lost a lot of land to Slavia, but then gained it right back. And then also the splitting of the Byzantine empires between these two empires was interesting to watch. As for faith, I think it's going to be pretty cut and dry here. We have probably three faiths left that are really in contention. We have Catholicism, Ashari, and everything after that is kind of a joke. Somehow I still have Nestronian and some other random faiths. Wanted to check in and see if any faiths became reformed. And it did. Vandalism finally gained reformation, but not much other than that. During the time lapse, and I wasn't sure if I was having a hallucination, but no, it looks like Scotland did own parts of Andalusia. Some pretty interesting things. Looks like it's the Arabian Empire, and if Slavia hadn't been formed, I'm not sure why Slavia was formed. Yeah, I'm not sure what split it. Maybe some civil war, internal civil war caused it, but it seems like they nipped it in the butt real quick, and the current ruler is a conqueror, which is crazy. Surprised that these khanates still exist. I would imagine that they would have been taken out by this emperor, but for whatever reasons just still haven't. I want to look at, it's 700 years in the future. I'm expecting to have some really smart people, lots of 100 stat people across the board. As you can see, 27-year-old 100 stats. Yeah, this is disgusting. How are you not recruiting these dudes? That, especially because some of them are your family members. A lot of them are. Like, boom, this is your family member. Recruit this dude. Interesting. Maybe they're just threatened by their existence, so they're not willing to have them at court because they're like, that dude's a threat to my power. But interesting stuff. As for military strength, obviously it's the HRE should be in first place, but I think they normally, well, actually no, they have not, but they also have 117 knights, which is crazy. What about you? How many knights do you have? 11. Is that because of the mercenaries? Yeah, that makes more sense. Is still around, or if he got ousted from power. It looks like he got ousted from power for some reason. But how much money is he making annually? 506 gold, you know? You love to see it. Not doing much other than got stacks of cash. 506 gold. What have we learned from this very hard AI time lapse with no Mongols? Seems that at the end of the day, the AI is more likely to make big mega states, which I think we already knew. When the Mongols don't come in and shatter everything, it makes it seem like eventually there's going to be a power in the west and there's going to be a power in the east. Africa still, I don't understand how they've held out so long. Maybe because there's only certain choke points to getting to these parts of the map, so the like AI is just unwilling to come down here. So like if you can hold these 3 passes, then there's nothing stopping them from like, and this one here. And lastly, it's always the Arabian Empire in 867 at least, I think, because they just have such a strong power base. It'd be interesting to see the difference from or 1066 versus 867 on who are the empires that expand. I would imagine it's still the HRE in the west, but in the east, who knows? Could be anybody. Could be the Seljuks, could be maybe a power out of India or something like that. But for now, that is all I have for you. Thank you so very much for watching this. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And as always, have a good rest of your day. Ciao.